Hey everybody, welcome back to Leosophy. Next Q&A vid, I will touch up on those 4 questions that didn't get answered because I had bored vids. But I just realized I don't think I've done a mental diet February. So I thought this would be a good time to do that since it's the last Sunday of February. So, um, yeah. What do I recommend people consume for February? Or, well, more likely for March? Well, for starters, nonfiction book category, I usually lead with that. Atomic Habits, really, really good so far. I'm only halfway through it, but oh man, I'm just surprised at how good it is at addressing um, fundamental ways of changing your behavior for the better. In fact, I would argue, and it's a little premature because I'm only halfway through, but I would argue it's probably one of the best mental diet books about having a better mental diet. It's a self improvement book, obviously, but I think it's so fundamentally at the core. I'm trying to avoid the use of the word atomic. It's so rooted at ground level that I think that it's sort of like a self help book that'll help you help yourself, including finding other self-help books. It's like Babby's first self-help. It's what it should be. It's really good. Highly, highly recommended. Like if you get anything that I say on this particular episode, it's probably that one. Atomic Habits. Really, really great so far. As far as music, like what's some good wholesome music to listen to? I feel like I'm jumping on a bandwagon here, which is sad because I've been listening to like this sort of stuff for years. It's one of those things where I swear to God, I'm like a hipster. I get annoyed when something weird I like becomes mainstream. You probably already know what it is just because I mentioned that it's become so mainstream, but man, I do love me some sea shanties, and whaling songs are really good. I will confess, I hadn't heard the Wellerman until it got popular. Other sea shanties I've sung since I was like little. I don't know why. I don't have any like sailors in my family, but I used to sing Drunken Sailor. Like, I don't know where I heard it at, but I've been singing that since I was like 5. Probably shouldn't have learned that when I was 5. But yeah, it's what's nice about that is I usually push like classical and instrumental music, but these are nice, wholesome songs that really get in your head that are, they're not degenerate. In terms of like televised media, um, I've been pretty interested in, and maybe I'm biased because we're gonna do like a Patreon 13th floor episode about it. Little spoiler alert. Is that Cecil Hotel special on Netflix? I'm not trying to get people to go back to Netflix, but if you already have it, or if you want to purge it, then it's been really interesting. Highly recommend that too. It's a bit morbid, but you know what isn't these days. And here is one that's I've never recommended before. Um, I was simultaneously very disturbed, but also very engrossed in Blood Meridian, and that's definitely one that I almost feel guilty recommending just because it is such a commonly recommended book. But I mean, Blood Meridian was really good, and I'll throw another one on there actually. Eggers wrote. I may have recommended this in a previous video, but I still think about it a lot. Um, I think he's just as good of a writer, by the way, as McCarthy. Or yeah, McCarthy. I couldn't. I was like, that's not his name, is it? But yeah, I think Eggers is just as good as McCarthy. But Heroes of the Wild Frontier is a phenomenal book. Um, it's almost in some ways kind of like a modern western, but not at all. Hard to really expound on that any further without spoiling it. But it's unique. It's some of the best character writing I've ever seen. Um, let's see. We've done music. We've done shows, which really is more of a special in this instance. We've done nonfiction. We've done fiction. What remains? Oh, film. That's right. Um, yeah, that's a bit hard to find now, right? How many good movies have come out lately? I mean, I'm still holding on AMC, but not a lot's come out lately. You know what? This is not. This is not really a film, but I do recommend it. Ryan Hamilton's Happy Face. It came out in 2017. I've never heard anybody talk about it. I've never heard of Ryan Hamilton before, even though I follow comedians extensively. And what a delight that was. I like edgy stuff. I like stuff that pushes the envelope. I don't mind swearing. I'm not triggered by it. But again, for the sake of, I try to focus on more wholesome things for mental diets because it's better for people's well-being in general to stay away from the edgier stuff. Well, this guy, Ryan Hamilton, I mean, maybe that's why I haven't seen more of him. One, works clean. Two, hilarious. I mean, really funny. I know a lot of clean comedians have become sort of stereotypically generic and often criticized and ridiculed as too middle of the road. This guy, very unique stuff. Kind of reminds me of Jerry Seinfeld, but with just a little bit more of a barb. I highly recommend it. Ryan Hamilton, happy face. Really, really funny. That's all we got for the mental diets for February. Like, share, subscribe, give us any questions. Bye.